Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another podversation on the Being Beautifully Honest channel. And this is one I wasn't planning on doing, but I just really felt like I had to go there because when I listened to Nene Leakes and Ben Crump's live interview about her petition to boycott Bravo, I was just getting these feelings that was like, this is just so disingenuous. And I hate to say that because I don't dislike Nene at all. I know that she has her fans and foes, and there are people who are team Nene and people who really can't stand her. I'm not one of those people because I don't really cape for anybody. I just really try to see things for what they are, and I just try to be on the side of right. Not saying I am always correct, but with this situation, I just feel that it is disingenuous, and I'm just going to share my thoughts as to why. So before I get into it, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel if you have not already done so. So let's just go ahead and get into the ugly truths as to why this boycott is really disingenuous.
I think I do. A Rolex. That is so nice. Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice. Really? Oh my God.
Does that make you happy?
Sure. You giving me a Rolex? Does that mean something?
What do you think it means?
Oh,
A Rolex is timeless.
yeah, but I
If you
said,
let it and you rewind it and you work it, it can last forever.
okay. Whatever that means. It's getting weird. But I still need to get this watch. Bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad. But it's great for me to meet somebody who is very wealthy, who has a very giving heart, who is willing to shower me with gifts and give me the world. If I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it.
You implied that.
I said what I said.
Okay, well, what you
Okay?
said was some bull.
But
That's
you don't
what it
like it.
is.
You don't like it.
I sure
okay?
damn don't like it.
Well, then, what you want me to do? Okay, you don't
no,
like it.
you ain't gotta do
express your
nothing.
feelings.
You
So
ain't gotta
don't
do
like
nothing.
it.
All I'm just
Okay?
saying to you
don't
is,
like it. What else?
don't
What else?
expect no
What
respect.
else? Well, I don't have to have any. What else? What
No,
else is
you
going
won't
on?
get it.
What else is going on? I didn't bring Cynthia's name up. You did. And I would have to say, Cynthia is, I think everybody knows this. I think Cynthia is okay. It's not like she's really bringing anything to the show. I mean, just to be honest, I mean, she talk about what the Bailey Agency and Bar One. I mean, it's not like they're really talking about anything. So, and then if you have somebody that can't stick, you know, like you need somebody that can be like, stick to something. You know, if you, when the wind blow, you blow this way, then you blow that way. Girl, bye.
So you were talking about Cynthia.
I'm just saying, since you brought her name up, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but you brought her name up, so I'm just giving you my opinion on it. I think Cynthia's a good friend, and but I think she just blows wherever the wind blows.
Well, she's always blown in your favor.
Not really. She's always been cool with me, but I've never felt like Cynthia like put a stamp of approval on it. I feel like
Really?
No.
So if you guys have been watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta for the years that Nene has been a part of the show, you've seen her elevate, you've seen her rise, you've seen her grow. And I love to see people grow. I love to see people get chances and opportunities and to be able to just capitalize on those opportunities when they have that chance. Because especially on shows like this and in Hollywood and on networks like Bravo, a lot of people don't get those opportunities and a lot of people just don't get those chances. So when you have a platform like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, where one, it's a huge platform, and they're paying you, and over the years, even more and heavily, to do what it is they like that you have brought to the show, then that is a plus, because it's not a scripted show. I do believe that they set up some scenarios and situations and meetings, and so we can see that it's not really real, because they'll bring people on the shows that didn't know each other, and then they're going out to drinks and dinner and getting to know each other and going on trips with each other. Like, that's just not real life, but it's a part of the show. A lot of people would love to have that opportunity where they're getting paid to travel to different destinations, getting paid to go out to lunch and go out to dinner and to go out to drinks and go out to hang out with somebody and gossip and talk about things that just honestly really are not important, but it's your job. That's a huge opportunity. And then because you get the platform and you get the notoriety and people see you and notice you, then other opportunities can come from that. And Nene has gotten a lot of opportunities that have come from being on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was on The Celebrity Apprentice. She was on the show Glee. She had her own role on the show The New Normal, which, wound up getting canceled. But because Ryan Murphy saw her on the show and Anderson Cooper liked her, for whatever reason, she got noticed and she got other opportunities. So she got some opportunities that some of the women who were on the show with her did not get. So with this petition and with her calling for this boycott, she's being interviewed by Ben Crump, who is known to be an attorney. I don't really want to call him a civil rights attorney, because I'll just be honest, I don't want to be rude, but attorneys, I was in the legal field for many years, some years ago, and I've seen it for what it is. The justice system is crap. The legal system, there's just a lot of things about it that are just so wrong, the way they allow things to happen. And attorneys are just really out for money. So even though he has helped some families to obtain settlements because they have lost loved ones due to the hands of a police department or a police officer, different situations like that, he wouldn't have been involved with their, if there was no opportunity to have money involved. Because, think about it. There's so many situations that have happened where it wasn't just an outright, this is wrong sort of situation and we can more easily get a settlement out of this, versus the ones where there may have been some questions involved and things that you can't really prove, and people have just been without. They've lost their loved ones and they don't have any recourse or anything for it. But you don't see him getting involved with those situations. But with the big ones, then, like Trayvon Martin and, more recently Breonna Taylor, it's just what it is. But I don't really want to get into all of that. I'm just saying, with this interview that he did with Nene, they were talking about how Bravo has elevated her white counterparts over her. What white counterparts? She talked about how she introduced Kim Zolciak, because she said that she and Sheree Whitfield and Deshaun Snow, who were all on the first season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, she's taking credit for it, saying that she brought them and they liked all of them and brought them to The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Pretty much she's taking credit for everybody except Lisa Wu, because Lisa Wu was already interviewed for the show. But the Real Housewives franchise was not created by Nene Leakes. That show was already on and it was created and it was focusing on people who were in Orange County. Now, Nene Leakes, she was one of the first, but Vicki Gunvalson, who was one of the first on the actual first Real Housewives franchises, she's no longer on the show. So she's a white woman. There are other women that came on the show that she could have said were elevated above her or, put before her or whatever, but this is an entertainment show. The show is about ratings. And although Nene has given some things over the seasons and years that were funny, things that she's said and some things that she's done that was seen to be really funny or comical or silly, that's what she was bringing to the show. And then there's a lot of times where she was just seen to not be very nice. I know she and Candy Burris have gotten into it. She's gotten into it with, several people. And a lot of times it was almost just like she just didn't even really want to be bothered. But in this interview with Ben Crump, she's saying that she's went to the executive several times and said that she didn't want to be the villain. And is there any way we can change this? They're putting out what you're giving them. So I don't really understand what she means by that. And, Kim Zolciak, love her or hate her, the woman came with a lot of things that people either found interesting and wanted to see, or they thought it was a train wreck and they could not turn their eyes away from it. And that brought ratings to the show. Now, don't ask me how her spinoff Tardy for the Party is doing, because I don't watch it. I've seen a few of the episodes here and there over the years, but I'm just not really interested in it. And honestly, just being beautifully honest, I don't really care for Kim Zolciak. I wouldn't say she's an actual racist, but I do believe she said some things that were very, very insensitive. And I just believe that she's just one of those narcissistic people that doesn't really care about anybody. But yeah, she came with a lot of things, and they said that she was not treated in the same way sometimes when it came to having to show up for filming and different vacations and different things like that. Well, maybe there was some things happening on the back end. So I won't say that those things that she's saying isn't true when it comes to that exact situation. But when it comes to the show that she was on, the opportunity that she got, and the network overall, Nene was elevated, and I believe that it went to her head and she did not seize on the opportunity, handle it the right way, and she just can't let go of what was. That is the past. I don't really see her coming back. Now, I'm not saying that the show is doing great without her, but to be honest, I don't even think it's because she's not on the show anymore. I just believe that it's run its course. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's just not that interesting. Cynthia Bailey and Candy Burris, who are on the show, they've been on for a long time now. Portia's been on for a while now as well. One of the people who's kind of, really more interesting than some of them is not even a peach holder. That's Marlo Hampton. And then Kenya, she's going to continuously be on the show as long as it's on, I believe, because she brings the drama. She doesn't mind being the villain, which is one of the things Nene says. She didn't want to be the villain anymore. So, okay, if you don't want to be the villain anymore and they've got Kenya, then why do they need you? I'm just saying, I don't believe that she was let go because of her race, and I believe that them calling for this boycott based on what she has experienced is disingenuous. And the ugly truth about her talking about supporting Black women is that she hasn't shown that. I don't know what she has done on the back end, so I can't say that she has not done that ever or at all, because I don't know her personally. So of course I can't say that. But what she has shown us, and just like Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. She has shown us that she really hasn't had the back of other people as much as she wants them to have her back. She's called for people to be fired because they weren't really bringing anything to the show, because they just were not on her good list at the time. She called for Cynthia Bailey to be let go because she pretty much was saying that Cynthia's boring. She called for Phaedra and Portia to get fired, even though she may not have come out and said Portia and Phaedra need to be fired, but she definitely did insinuate that. And Portia and Nene had their issues for that for a while, because we are not stupid. We could see that's what she was doing. So for her to put herself on the level of Breonna Taylor, who has unfortunately lost her life because police officers went into her home, guns blazing, and you're talking about your job and not having a contract that you were happy with, because they did offer her something, but she wasn't happy with it. She didn't accept it. So that's kind of the way it works. They don't really just fire you. They just don't renew your contract, because you're really a contractor. You're not really an employee, but it is a job. And they give you ample money and opportunities to build from it. And she tried to compare herself to Kim Kardashian, but sweetheart, you're not Kim Kardashian. And that is not a knock on her appearance or age or anything like that. But one, Kim Kardashian's on a completely different network. You were on Bravo. Kim Kardashian's on the E network. The Kardashians really kind of made the E network. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, although their ratings were really high, the Real Housewives of Atlanta did not make Bravo. It's just not the same. And we know there are pay inequities, not just in Hollywood, but that's just all over. So I just don't believe that she was really fighting for Black women when she had the opportunity to do so. Those are the times when you're supposed to really fight. You put yourself on the line and you sacrifice yourself for a greater cause when you are elevated, when you have the opportunities, when you're in that position. But you don't wait until you feel like you have been wronged and then you want to speak out and say something because you feel like you've been wrong. And that is what the ugly truth is in the situation when it comes to Nene. It is, I was done wrong. I wasn't treated fairly, and now I'm going to speak on it, and I'm going to put it all on the table, and I want everybody to support me and boycott Bravo and boycott the Real Housewives of Atlanta and don't watch it, because you really want to hurt the other people that are still on there. How does that help those women? And out of the millions of people that watch that show, 10,000 is really nothing. That had so far signed a petition the last time I heard. And that's what she said. At that time of the interview, she said 10,000 of her quote unquote fans has signed a petition. That's nothing. And I don't know how many followers she has, but I'm quite sure she has more than 10,000 followers. So not even all of her followers have signed a petition. And with her talking about Mariah Huck, who was on Married to Medicine, her situation is definitely a bit different than Nene. Now, again, you have the people that love Mariah and you have people that can't stand her. I do believe that if anybody may have a case, it could be Mariah. I don't know all of the details and all of the back end of everything, but Mariah actually did create Married to Medicine. That's her baby. She created that, but they said that her title of executive producer was just more of a vanity title. So with her situation, it could just be some contract disparities, the way things were written up. She may have gotten pushed out of something that she created, and also her not really getting along with the women who were on the show as well. So I could understand Mariah a bit more, but with Nene, it's just been a pity tour of doing the lives, going on Tamron Hall. Now, this live interview with Benjamin Crump, which even when I just saw that she was interviewed by Benjamin Crump, I was like, oh my God, are we still doing this support Black women thing? Like, you're still trying to attach yourself to that. And it's just not genuine. It is opportunistic. And it's not cool. Breonna Taylor is gone. Due to gun violence by a police department, and you're talking about your situation from being paid millions per season by Bravo on The Real Housewives of Atlanta to travel and have drinks and have people over to your house and have a party and all this ridiculous stuff that's just really vain, but I mean, people watch it because it's entertaining. I just don't see this going anywhere. I will be surprised if it does. And I don't want bad for the woman. I don't. But it looks bad because she is continuing to do this. I've already talked about this before. And I can't believe that we're still doing this. I cannot believe that she is still trying to get something out of this that she honestly really doesn't deserve. You are a contractor on a show that is about bringing people entertainment, and they just did not want you as a part of the ensemble cast anymore. And not only that, they offered her something and she rejected it. So what more do you want? I just don't get it. But I'm going to leave a link, if you have not heard the interview, in the description so that you can listen to it. There's a lot more that can be said. I just don't want this to be an extremely long video. But when I tell you that I see this as opportunistic, I am being kind when I say that. I'm really, again, trying to be beautifully honest and not tear her down. And I know there are people that are saying a lot worse, and I know that there are people who are cheering for her. I'm not saying that I don't want her to get something, but I just feel that what she's doing with this call for the boycott to the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Bravo, people turning their TVs off and not watching it, is disingenuous because it affected her pockets, and that is all she is really caring about. It's not about the movement. It's not about Black women or Black people, period. I know Benjamin Crump said some things to try to make it look a little bit more genuine, where he was talking about statistics of a Black Hollywood and Black actors that have been depressed, and unfortunately some of them have taken themselves out, and the pay inequities. I know he tried to make it look a little bit more legitimate, and I guess, you know, I appreciate that, him being an attorney, he had to kind of go there to so it didn't just look like he was just chatting it up with a, you know, with a reality star. But that even was like a little bit cringeworthy to hear him talking about that in this situation. So anyway, guys, that is it. I really want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Please listen to the interview if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next video, I'm just being beautifully honest.